In the realm of cinema, there are certain actors who possess an aura of charisma and presence that transcends the screen. Among them stands Denzel Washington, an actor whose every step echoes with confidence and grace. While it may not rise to the practically meme level of Tom Cruise running, Denzel's walk is no doubt iconic. But what is it about Denzel's walk that captivates audiences and sets it apart from other actors who, in other respects, are equally commanding? Join me as I explore the characteristics of Denzel's legendary walk, breaking down the components that make it powerful yet graceful, authoritative yet vulnerable, all at the same time. Hey everybody, if you're new to the channel, I'm Dr. Todd Martin, creator of The Walking Code. Denzel Washington is one of my favorite actors, so when a viewer reached out and asked if I would do a video analyzing his walk, I thought it would be a great opportunity for me to share my opinion on what exactly it is he's doing, what you're seeing, and how you might benefit from emulating certain aspects of his walk. Going back through Denzel's long history of movies, we can see that his walk is not a recent creation. It seems to predate his notoriety as an actor. We can hear from Denzel himself describing how he developed this unique walk.
You know this, if you Google Denzel Washington walk, because Denzel, I don't know if you know, but you have a very specific glide stride.
Donald Fletcher was a guy, I don't think, God rest his soul if he's not alive, but he was a guy in our boys club, those days called the boys club. He had a walk. So me and another guy, Wayne Bridges, whose son is Ludacris, Chris Bridges. Oh, wow. Me and Wayne used to try to walk like Donald Fletcher. We'd watch him walk, and we're like, okay, we'd actually practice.
And then it became your walk.
I stole a bit, so Donald, if you're out there, I owe you money.
Now that we've heard from Denzel about where his walk came from, let's break it down and look at the specific characteristics that, when absorbed together, give it that enigmatic flow. Make sure to stay tuned till the end, where I'm going to share that one unique characteristic of his walk that really differentiates it from everybody else. First of all, Denzel's walk is relaxed yet purposeful. Denzel's walk carries a sense of direction and purpose, partially because he always has his feet facing forward in the direction he's walking. This may seem basic, but there are a lot of male actors that fall into the duck-footed camp. Take Jason Statham, for example, doing a long duck-footed stroll in the movie Operation Fortune. In the actual movie, you only see him walking from the waist up, but this making of clip reveals what's going on down below. This may in part explain why it's so difficult to find whole body shots of many actors walking in their movies. Here's Idris Elba walking. I've shown clips of him walking in previous videos because he has a notoriously duck-footed walk that belies the idea that weak muscles are a contributing factor. For Denzel, another subtlety I've noticed that creates a purposeful look is his tendency to telegraph where he's about to go with a turn of his head. He then lets his body catch up, after which he has a cool, fixed gaze. That purposefulness is contrasted with a slight relaxed forward roll of his shoulders. If you have trouble seeing it, look how his palms face slightly back rather than directly toward the side of his leg. This is evidence of the forward and internally rotated position of his shoulders. I do not recommend this as a normal walking technique, but it does distinguish his style from many others and creates a perception of casual relaxation, as opposed to a more shoulder-back military style. Another factor giving off the vibe of relaxation is the momentary heel hover before the foot comes down to the ground. This is something I recommend in all of my videos and reflects proper use of hip energy and a correct neutral pelvic orientation. Here you can see my heel hover slowed down with bare feet. We can contrast this with several walking variations. One where the heel swings directly into the ground because of the pattern of hip action. In this second version, the heel slams into the ground because of a forward lean. In this third version, the heel hits the ground without a proper hover because the pelvis is angled forward in an anterior pelvic tilt. So far, I haven't pointed out anything particularly unique about Denzel's walk, But I did promise to share that one thing that I think differentiates his walk from most other American actors, and here it is. Sometimes, but not all the time, he uses an asymmetric lateral tilt to put his heel down after the heel hover. This is a lateral bend originating in the lats that brings his heel down, and he almost always does it on his right side. This causes a slight drop of his shoulder on the right side at the end of each forward step with the right foot. He then unwinds the tilt, resulting in the placement of the left heel. Sometimes, like here in Devil in a Blue Dress, he does the tilt on both sides, resulting in a more symmetric movement and more forward shoulders. It also results in more backward-facing palms. Using a lateral tilt to place the heel gives the walk a more masculine appearance, or swagger. When he does it asymmetrically, it gives the walk an almost musical quality, with one strong beat and one weak beat. The strong beat is brought about by the lateral tilt. The weak beat is a result of the unwinding. When we're walking, we all have to do something to place the heel after it gets to this slight heel hover position. What I advocate in most of my videos is the rotation of the upper waist to place the heel. So if I'm stepping forward with my right foot, after we get to the heel hover position, I bring the right upper waist forward, and that brings the heel down to the ground. When I'm stepping forward with the left foot, I bring my left upper waist forward, and that brings the left heel down. When Denzel is walking, what he's doing, instead of rotating forward, is using a bit of a lateral tilt from his lats. And that is what brings the heel down to the ground. Now, when he's walking, often we're going to see that he does this on his right side, bringing the right heel down, and then he unwinds, and the unwinding is what brings the left heel down. So we get to the heel hover position and then use the lats on the right side to bring the heel down and slightly drop the right shoulder. Then as we move forward, we unwind, and the unwinding brings the left heel down. Then we change the weight and drop the right shoulder with each step, and then unwinding. That drop in the right shoulder from the lats also rotates the palm slightly backward. And so you'll see that his thumbs are facing slightly at an angle this way when he walks in that manner. And when he walks with the lateral tilt on both sides, you're going to see that his palms are facing almost completely backward, like you'll see in this clip from Virtuosity. In this clip, he's using the sway or the lateral tilt on both sides, resulting in that sort of appearance. Using that slight lateral bend or tilt slows down the progression of the movement relative to what would happen when we place the weight by rotating forward. When we use the forward rotation to place the heel, it keeps the shoulders in the proper position. So the thumb is facing forward, the shoulder is open rather than being closed off where the thumb is either angled across the body or directly towards the body and the shoulder is internally rotated, palms facing back. That palm back, shoulders forward position may seem slightly cool and relaxed, but it is putting the shoulder in an unhealthy, internally rotated position that we really want to avoid. If we want to look at the components of Denzel's walk that we might benefit health-wise from emulating, the number one component that I would recommend is the heel hover. I talk about this in most of my other videos. The heel hover requires that we have a neutral pelvis, which is not tilted forward, and that we're not pushing off from the hips. The pulling from the hips that I teach and what Denzel does causes a glide forward with a slight heel hover, then we place the heel down in a slow and controlled fashion. That's as opposed to several variations, which is leaning forward to place the heel, where we're not really going through a hovering position, or having an anterior pelvic tilt that also bypasses the heel hover position. Overstriding is another thing that bypasses the heel hover, which looks something like this. So those sorts of gait are not going to have that relaxed flow that Denzel has when he walks, and they're also going to result in a very heavy heel strike, which is not good for the health of your feet, your arches, your knees, or your lower back. Now, the part of Denzel's walk that I don't recommend emulating is the lateral bend, which does give it that masculine look and that slight relaxed look of the rolled shoulders like that. It may be cool, but in the long run, having your shoulders internally rotated by that lateral bend is going to put your rotator cuff in a bad position where it may be impinged or pinching up against your shoulder bone, and that may lead to an increased risk of rotator cuff tendonitis. But overall, I think Denzel has an amazingly relaxed and fluid walk that we all can appreciate in his movies. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to click the like button, subscribe to the channel so you can see all my other content as it comes out. And if you're trying to work on improving your own walking technique, I have loads of videos already up that are free for you to use to practice improving your own walking technique, because that's going to help you keep your spine aligned, keep your core engaged, and reduce impact on your joints. And I think that's going to help keep your joints healthy over a longer period of time. If you want more in-depth instruction, you can go to my website, which will be linked above or in the description section, and sign up for the Walking Code online course, or even join the Walking Code members group, which will have extended versions of my videos. It has the entire first Walking Code online course and a members forum where you can speak to me and to other members. It will also have twice a month live Q&A sessions with me where you can be on screen along with me and I can help you with any questions that you have. Have a great day.